Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Off Meta Relationships. This is T-Bone.
And Letters. We've been together for 12 years, and there are a lot of people asking for relationship advice out there on the internet, and so we decided to give our takes.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can always be notified when we got another hot take coming at you. And if you really like what you're hearing, we would appreciate it if you could support the channel using Patreon. There's a link in the description down below, or you can also just go to Patreon and look up OffMetaGang. Now, back to the show.
My 26-year-old female boyfriend, 27-year-old male, zones everything out when he's gaming, and it's making me resentful. We've been together for 4 years and been living together for 2. I always knew he was a gamer, but it used to be much less, after work or on the weekends, to de-stress, and it's how he and his friends stay in touch. However, about 1.5 years ago, he managed to put his money into investments that give him passive incomes and allow him to essentially stop working, retire. He still does freelance stuff here and there, but now spends the majority of his time playing video games. Since he can't pause the games midway, it's difficult to talk to him. Sometimes I just want to share a little tidbit of my day or interesting videos I found, but he's always in the middle of a game, so I end up just standing there waiting for him to finish, and usually by then the moment has passed and whatever I wanted to say feels trivial. Things got worse when I gave up gaming headphones, since he and his friends screaming is too loud. But now it's even more difficult to get his attention. I could walk in the room, say something, and he wouldn't look up for 5 to 10 minutes. Everything is a waiting game. Walking the dog, dinner, lunch, laundry, etc. It's like instead of being a hobby that adds to his life, video games are his life, and everything else revolves around it, including me. He admitted himself that he loses track of time while playing. Maybe I'm overreacting, but even with my college roommates, we'd shout random things at each other throughout the day, and I miss having this mundane connection with someone I live with. Or maybe guys just don't talk about random stuff like girls do? I don't know. We've had many arguments about this, and things would change for a bit and then go back how it used to be. How can I communicate to him that his gaming is hurting our relationship?
All right, so I want to pull something back up because there was something that she said. Was it here? No, it was here. There was something that she said that kind of bugs me, and I don't know why it bugs me. So she's 26, he's 27, and the dude has enough money to retire. My thought is, okay, he's the way I read this is that we're talking about a man who is retired. What exactly is he supposed to be doing right now to where he can't just hang out and play games? I'm not sure if I'm looking at this incorrectly, but once I'm retired, I thought that we were allowed to do whatever the hell we wanted. And at that point, I would probably game a bit. I don't know if I would do what he's doing. I probably want to like stream or something still. But once you're retired, I still don't understand how at the age of 27, he has enough to retire. But if he's made that much money or he has that much passive income that is somehow just not going to go away, which is kind of weird, he's going to game. Let the man do what he's going to do.
Yeah, I think he strikes me, my impression is that he is someone who gets very focused, and he was probably very focused on FIRE or some similar plan in order to retire early. And now he's focused on what he likes to do, which is gaming. I actually don't feel like the gaming is the problem here. The communication is the problem here, because it seems like he is not maybe making enough time to hang out with her. And it's like, yeah, you're retired, you can do whatever you want to do, but maybe he wants to be single? I don't know. It seems a little bit weird, like, we're only getting her side, of course.
Right. And I feel like a big problem is we're not really getting enough.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, you've been together for 4 years, you live together for 2. How is the rest of the relationship? Why are you with him? Why did you 2 move in together? Are you kind of dependent on him? Like, what? I want a lot more details that she didn't provide in the original story and she didn't put in the comments. But this just seems a little weird where it's like, let the guy game. He's retired. He is providing for you, if I'm reading this correctly.
Yeah, it
Let the
seems like
man,
it.
let the man game. I mean, I guess what you could do, what I would do if I were in her position is I would, I believe the word or the phrase I'm trying to think of is slot out some time.
Yeah,
Where I would
schedule some
go,
time.
yeah, or schedule's a better way to put it. I would go, look, I know you want a game, but I need to see you. I need to hang out with you every now and then. So here's what we're gonna do. Uh Tuesdays and Thursday nights, no games. I just want you to come have dinner with me. Let's talk about our day, talk about our week, and talk about our day, talk about whatever random stuff is floating around in my head, and then eventually he's gonna want to go back to the game. I'm also wondering if because this was written during the time of COVID, maybe this is the only way he can connect with his friends.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually, this is something I've read and something I've noticed. It seems like when girls get together, what they can do is just sit together in a room or whatever, or hop on the phone and just talk to each other.
Oh God, that sounds awful.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either. But what guys like to do, both boys and men, is we like to have an activity to do while we are talking.
Yeah.
And I've noticed this because, or excuse me, I read it first and then I was like, oh, well, that sounds kind of weird. But then I realized, oh, I actually only talk to my friends for the most part. Like 99.99% of our conversations are while we're doing something else, whether it be playing a game, watching a movie, playing a card game, playing a video game, something like that. We're usually doing some kind of activity while we're talking about our day.
Yeah.
I don't think, or I should say, at least in terms of voice. Now, I'll text back and forth all day, but that's usually, let me rephrase that. I'll text back and forth all day, but I feel like that doesn't apply because it's two very separate things. When you're texting, it's not the same thing as the voicing, where you have to set everything else aside to talk.
Yeah.
But in this way, if you're just doing the voice and then you can also focus on playing a game, it gives you time to hang out, do that male bonding thing while getting some kind of goal done. Usually games have a goal that you have to reach.
Yeah.
And I think I seriously, after reading that, I'm really thinking that's why dudes, especially now with COVID going on, I think that's why a lot of guys are really jumping into games way more than even before.
Yeah.
Because it gives us that sense of accomplishment, Go to level 1. Oh, okay, you did it. Go to level 2. Oh, I can't. Well, go practice and then come back and go to level 2. And we're just getting that over and over again. I'm also wondering, we're getting a slight sidetrack here, but I'm also wondering if that's why games like Fall Guys and Among Us, games where it's not really skill based. I'm wondering I'm wondering if that's why those games are so popular, because people can play them and there's not really much of a skill difference. You can only get the difference between a bad player and a good player is not anywhere near as insurmountable as with some other games like Call of Duty or Melee or something like that. Just slight side tangent that just popped into my head.
Yeah, and I think it's not just men who do that. I mean, I know that I personally feel a lot more comfortable in social situations when there is an activity like, playing Magic at a round table with a bunch of friends, or I don't online game too much, but maybe playing Fall Guys with somebody would be fun. Because I think a lot of times women, if they are just sitting and talking and they're not doing anything else, there is actually a second thing going on, and it's like that hidden layer of subtext that I hate so much.
Right, but that's you. We're talking the paper I was reading, that was like the research paper, whatever.
Yeah,
was saying that in general, not women do the just sitting and talking face to face. The subtext stuff is not. It's not the same thing as actively having a video game going on while you're. Yeah. That's more of a mental, oh, hey, you're really brave to wear that dress, which is like a weird under insult thing.
Yeah.
But it's nowhere near the same thing as I'm trying to play Call of Duty while talking to my buddy about his, recent breakup or something.
Yeah.
Right. That's what the paper's talking about. And that's what I'm wondering if that's what he's doing now, is this is how he talks to his friends.
Yeah.
Is they play a game while they're voice talking to each other. The thing with the side thing, the thing why it's different with women is they usually just talk to each other, and yeah, they have that sub communication or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing as having an actual activity going on.
Yeah, now here's a question. Because we know now from behavioral research that when people are multitasking, they're not really doing two things at once. They are rapidly switching between two things. And women kind of have a reputation for being better multitaskers. Really, that's probably just anecdotal. I think everybody kind of sucks at it.
Yes.
So do you think that men are having the same level of conversation when they are playing a game at the same time, and trying to talk to their buddy, or playing a game and then maybe going, "Oh, that's a funny video."
Oh, there's definitely, you are definitely switching around. I know I've gotten that as well, where you can't, depending on what game they're playing, which is, I mean, who knows how much she knows about games, but that kind of matters as well. You're definitely not having the same level of conversation as if you were not playing the game.
Yeah.
So, for instance, I'll do a personal account. When I'm playing whatever online, there's playing the game and talking about the game, and then usually in between matches, that's when you start talking about your personal life. So she's trying to talk to him while he's trying to focus on the game. Basically, what's going to happen is he's either going to have to pull back some from the game to go listen to her, or if he's like, whatever she's talking about can wait, because unfortunately, it sounds like it's, I don't want to say it's not important, but it's not like the house was burning down or anything, right?
No,
it's nowhere near that level.
This with you,
that kind of stuff, unfortunately, can wait.
Yeah.
And she has to kind of get over the fact that she's like, oh, well, it loses the mood or it loses the timing, and I feel bad.
Yeah.
Or she has to ask him, hey, I need you to put in the effort to switch back and forth.
Yeah. I think that she needs to start playing Fall Guys with her girlfriends, or she needs to, call somebody up on the phone or have other friends, because essentially what she's doing is encroaching on his time with his friends. And like you said, between matches, he's having conversations with his friends probably. Right. And, he deserves to have that. He deserves to have friends outside the relationship. I think, sometimes people in relationships kind of strangle each other and they're like, you're the only one for me. You can possibly meet all of somebody's needs, and they can't supply all of your needs. Right. You have to have multiple people in your life, not just your partner.
But sort of on her side and bad towards him. If he's going to be focused on the games and he wants to play it a lot, which I completely understand, he does need to siphon off some time from it.
Yeah, and the one thing that's kind of an alarm for me was that she specifically said that she has talked to him about it a couple of times, and he would then make time for her for a little while and then would kind of fall out of it. So I think they really need to make a hard schedule. I know that's not romantic, but really make a hard schedule of, like you were saying, Tuesdays and Thursdays is the night that you spend with me, and then
either do it by the day or do it by the day and time or something. You got to figure something out, because gaming's. I'm trying to find a nice way to say this, but I can't. Most likely, her conversation will never be as fun or interesting as gaming and speaking with your friends. And it's not just her. I mean, most people in general, if you're just talking about something that's going on in the day, it's never going to be as exciting as playing a game with multiple people, talking with your friends. And it also depends on what the game is, but you can't beat the game. That's just not going to happen. What you have to do is you have to get him to get some time away from the game, talk about whatever you're going to talk about, and then let him go back and do his thing. Because first off, the fact that he's found a way to retire before the age of 30, that's insane. He might, like you said earlier, he might be one of these fire guys who can do super concentration, never, doesn't mind giving things up to get what he needs. And if that's the case, first off, you're not going to beat the game anyway if the game is what he really wants. He's already proven to have that determination. But secondly, it does seem like there's a very large section of guys, and I include myself in this population, who are, it's like gaming is just such a good, I would say it's a good way to deal with certain issues. Like, it's a good way to talk to your friends. It's a good way to relax. It's a good way to end the day. And if his days almost have no beginning, it's almost like all day is in the day. He just looks at his passive income, makes sure that it fits with the amount of bills he has to pay, and then he's done. He's already at the end of his day.
Yep.
And that's probably why he's playing so much. But yeah, I would say kind of final verdict here. I think we agree. Siphon some time off, but recognize that first off, there's multiple reasons why he might be doing this. I lost my train of thought. There's multiple reasons why he might be doing this. You need to find out those reasons. You have to hope that he's mature enough to really talk about it with her.
Yeah. And I think compromise is what's important here. You know, if he is not interested in meeting her halfway and maybe, you know, carving out some time where he is focused on her, then maybe they shouldn't be in a relationship. But it doesn't sound like that'll be too hard to do, especially since he has nothing but time on his hands since he's got the money.
Exactly. It sounds like he's pretty set. So I think we got it. We're basically on the same page about this. It's siphon some time, find out what's going on behind the scenes, and then if you can't do that, it's time to make the big decision that, you know, most people don't want to make.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, not to be that guy, but I'm wondering if part of the reason why she won't leave is because he's got the money.
I mean, that's amazing. Not only does he have the money, but it sounds like he earned the money, which is like
that's wild. What did he do?
Yeah.
We need an update, miss. What did he do? I'm trying to copy. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. We will be back another time. I always want to say the date, and I can't do that. You can't give a date. We will be back another time. I hope you all have a good night.
Good night.